Great, that looks great. So that's going to be my first run at this. It for sure looks like we're not getting the chat in there as well. So this will be my first run at doing this doc cam recording of the model house. We are on sheet 2, and we just completed wall 1B. 1B is the first of these sections. So this is section 1B. Section 1B is now completed. And if you get lost at what's going on, there are your steps right here. So we're just going right down, here, and we're just following these steps. So the step that we're on right now would be, let me look here. Cut, okay, I think we're between step 7 and 8. Cut and nail all cripples above headers and under the sills. Okay, we totally did that. Step 8, cut and nail all the fire blocks except the fire blocks at the left end of the wall. They're talking about here and here. So this, we're talking about step 8 right now. And then nail that fire block after you've spliced wall 1A and 1B. Well, this is wall 1A. We haven't built that yet. So I think that's what we're going to do today. So I'm going to check this out here. Let's go to the next item here, 9. So we're covering a lot of steps really quickly here because I think we're at a good transition. Number 9, cut the 2 sections of the cap plate that you see on wall 1B and nail them to the top plate. The rest of the cap plate will be nailed on after walls 1A and 1B are spliced together. At this point, wall 1B is complete. Store in a safe place. Okay, this is going to be exciting because we're actually going to pull this off, which could be a little difficult and will require us being very careful. They're talking about something called the cap plate and we're in step 9, 2 sections of the cap plate on 1B. So they're talking about this here, and there's just 2 of them. So we're doing here and here. So let's go ahead and add those. Let me scoot this over so you can see it a little bit better. Step 9 is talking about us making this cap plate. So here and here. Let's look at what pieces those are. I think it might be a full piece. No, it's longer. It's longer than the normal 8 foots. So the normal wood that we're using in the bundle is not going to be used for this cap plate. This one it can be used for this one. So let's look and see if I have something that's close. That's not close. This is, I'm going to have to cut a new one. And I was actually having a lot more luck with the razor blade than the saw. So I just wanted to say that if you want to transition over to the razor blade, that would be great. But I would recommend having something solid to cut it, to use it on, because you have to press down into some of it. I'm going to grab my little W keychains that I've been printing out for you when you get back here, when we get back into session. And you just need something that's a little hard. Now, be careful when you're handling this razor blade. You want to be very careful. It's very sharp. Make sure that that you don't leave it out. Okay, I'm just pushing down. There, that was quick. I think that's quicker than going through the saw in the miter box. So I'm going to put it on there. That's looking good. And so I'm going to nail this on. And so I'm going to grab my my needle nose pliers, and then I'm going to pick up 2 nails. I think 2 nails should be enough for this to hold on. So I'm going to go through here, and this is a little bit tricky because we already have so many nails in it. So I'm going to go at a little bit of a diagonal. Okay, so I'm entering the wood at this angle. I'm pressing down with 2 fingers. And so let me grab another nail, and I'm going to go diagonal again from over here. So I'm going to go I'm going to go at that angle. So I'm pressing down, down, and down, and then I'm going to go in at an angle. Boom. Okay, so that cap plate is attached. And now this cap plate over here, this is much longer. So let me look in what I have in my box as far as the longer pieces go. And I want to choose something that I'm going to go to this bundle now. And if you're wondering how long that bundle is, we have our tape, and this is 9.5. I think a 9.5 doesn't have too much waste, only about 1. So I'm going to just take 1 out of here, 1 out of this bundle. Now I kind of like to push. I like to push, and you see that come out, and then I could just slide 1 out. And I leave the bundle closed like this so they don't get into a mess and get everywhere. And it's harder for me to tell you which ones to use at which time if it doesn't look like the packaging still once we start to unwrap them. So let's put this back in the box. And then this one is going to go here. This is going to be my cap plate here. And so I'm going to scoot this over so you can see a lot better. Start right there. And go all the way over here. Okay, so I have a nice little mark. I'm going to go ahead and put it back on my little cutting surface. That was a lot easier, just rocking back and forth. Remember, keep that separate. You don't want to get it too close to you when you're doing your nailing. Okay, that looks great. So I'm just going to pop another 2 nails in to this piece. And let's grab a couple. Here's 1. And I'm going to go in at this angle here. So that goes. So that nail went in at this angle here. There's a couple sticking out. There's a couple nails sticking out there. I'm going to try to push that back in. Okay, so for some reason that nail popped out a little bit. Not sure why, but it was keeping that cap plate from going in smoothly. And so now I'm grabbing another nail, and I'm just going to go at an angle from over here. I'm trying to hide it in this piece here. There we go. Oh, that popped out. I'm going to take this out and adjust the angle. If I bend it when I take it out, I toss that nail. You don't want to use bent nails. Bam. Okay, so I've attached this cap plate here and this cap plate here successfully. And that brings us to the end of step 9. So we just did this. Cut the 2 sections of the cap plate that you see on wall 1B and nail them to the top plate. The rest of the cap plate will be nailed on after walls 1A and 1B are spliced together. At this point, wall B is complete. Big win, everyone. Congratulations if you have finished this step. This is a big step. And we're going to store it in a safe place. Does anybody have any guesses on what that means? What's being implied there? If they're saying for us to store it in a safe place, then that means like we're done with it for now, right? I'm looking at the chat. Where's the safe place that you think we should put this, Mr. Vasquez? For me, yeah, somewhere where it won't get damaged. For me, I have more room here in the classroom that I could put them in different places. For you, that may be back in the original box. It's up to you. We will not need it for the rest of the day. So now it's about how do we take this off? So that's a pretty critical question in this equation of what's going on. And like, I want to remove this, but I've also nailed it down. I've nailed it down in several different places. So I'm gently lifting it. I'm gently lifting it. I'm gently lifting it. I'm gently lifting it. Boy, this thing wants to break on me for sure. I see an angled nail here. I'm reaching in, pulling out that angled nail. That one's released. I'm moving around here. This one, here's another nail. Let me just start on one side and work my way over so I can show you. So I have a nail here. I think I put like 6 nails in to hold it. And it's going to get a little weird as you start taking out the nails. They're going to want to, it's going to want to move on you. Okay, I dropped that nail. Okay, here's another one right here. Got that one. Here's another one right here. Gently. You know, this isn't a race. I think what can happen here, if you hurry up too much, you're going to break something, and then you're going to have to secure it back to the board and then re-nail it, which would take you a lot of time. So please take your time in this equation, all right, in this part. Okay, this feels good, this feels good. I feel like it's, oh, there's one right here. That's out. There's one right here. Slowly, slowly. I see another one right here. That one's out. I'm working my way over. Boy, I think some of them went down into the paper over here. So that's hard. I'm gonna move over here, and I'm gonna get the easy ones, the ones I can see easily. Bam, got that one. Bam, I got this one. That one's digging in. So I'm gonna try to pry it out with my box cutter. I'm gonna try to get in here and pick it up. There it is. That came right up. Retract the blade when you're done with this. You don't want to leave it out. Okay. So that one's out. Okay, I really over nailed right here something. And then I put a nail in that's underneath the cap plate. So that would mean I probably have to take my cap plate off to get in here. I'm going to try to move it all up first and look at it from the back. Okay, so what did I do here? Oh, okay, so this one was holding it on. This one went a little bit out the back, and this one went a little bit out the back. So now you have to be very careful at this point. So the one I'm going to focus on here is this one came out the back. So let me try to hold that in a position and then show you a close-up of what happened. Here we go. Okay, so we're looking at this, and this one I put it in at an angle from the top, and then it came out the bottom. Now I'm going to push this nail back out and then put it in at the right angle, straight in, so it doesn't come out. Now really be careful when you do this because you don't want to poke yourself. So here I'm going to grab the piece, grab the nail, and push it out. I'm pushing down right here. There. So I'm pushing down. There we go. There we go. Okay, great. I'm going to push down, pull out, and push this back in. Because if I take it out of there, there's actually another one that I need to replace it once I take it out. Okay, so that's great. This one's sticking out a little bit. I think that's not too bad. This one just poked me, so that's definitely one that I'm worried about. Oh, it's too small. I'm going to try to push it in just a little bit with the back of this to see if I can't get that down. Yeah, okay, that's a little bit better. So I just pushed the nail down a little bit. That's not ideal, but if you can't take it out very easily, then that's my recommendation for you. Now we're going to go here to this nail. You can see it just sticking out there. And then I have the cap plate on, so I'm actually going to need to take off the cap plate to even be able to get this off. So let's pull out this nail here. And I'm gonna rotate this board up. So I'm rotating it up. So I rotated it from here up. Let me zoom out. So I'm rotating it from here out. Then I'm gonna push that nail up. There we go. I'm gonna replace the angled nail that I took out and go in at an angle. Okay, so that's very successful, and this is ready to go. So this is wall 1B, and it was our first wall that we got to make, and we're done. So it's very delicate. So let's try to put this someplace nice. You can put this in the box, and then we're going to go on to wall 1A. Okay, so please take your time, put this piece away, and then we're going to come back on wall 1A and begin that build. I just put my piece in the box. Okay, now my work surface still looks good. Oh, actually, no, I'm going to need to move it because this one's off the top. So we're going to be working on wall 1A, right? And that's up. So we're going to need to move our plans. So I'm going to take out my nails from this foam piece. I think I can kind of pull them out with my fingernail. Is that working? Yeah, fingernails pulling these out pretty easily. That might be a little bit easier for you to just hook them with your nail, pull it, put it in a pile, pick it with your nail. One of them stayed in, so I'm going to pull that out. I don't want to leave any nails in this foam piece and then forget about them. That could be a problem later. Okay, so we're done with section 1B. That was nice. That was exciting. Now we're going to go to 1A. So we're going to try to put this piece in a good orientation on the board for us to work on it. Now, if we put it in this top corner, yeah, I think the top corner is good. So we're just shifting the paper, and that will bend our bottom paper. You know, our bottom paper might get bent a little bit, but we're done with it. So maybe that's why we're working on, maybe that's why the people made these instructions in this order, that 1B gets done first so that your paper doesn't get bent here at the end. So I'm going to attach it in the upper left-hand corner of the foam, and I'm going to put my nails in at an angle. So the nails are going to go in at an angle and go down and in. So they're not going to go straight down. That's what it would look like if it was straight down. I'm going to go at an angle. I'm going to put in 6 nails to hold this piece of paper down. I'm going to put in one at the top corner here. Okay, that's nice. I'm going to put one in the center on the top right here. That's nice. And I'm going to put picking up these little nails is tough. I'm going to put another one over here in the corner. Okay. Putting it in this bottom corner now. That's in. Going back across. I'm going to put one here and then put one down here. So let's do that next. I think this is a good time while I'm doing this to talk about site preparation. When you're getting your workspace ready on your job site, you need to do a lot of thinking like this. You need to think about where things are going to go and in what sequence. And for us to be able to use this next part, for us to be able to work up here on this section, we needed to readjust the paper, make sure it's nice and flat. Let's let's look at the steps. Let's double check that, and then we're ready to go on to our next step now. Because without making sure you have a nice workspace to get going, you're going to be it could be an unsafe situation, or you could be wasting a lot of time doing something. It might take longer because you have to clean up while you're doing it. Okay, so here we go. We are at step 10, build wall 1A following the above instructions. Use 2x4 lumber, 14 inches long, to cut the sole and top plates. 14 inches, huh? Let me look at what's going on here. Oh, okay. So what they're talking about is this. They're talking about the top plate and they're talking about the sole plate. So let's just focus on this on the top plate because I think you can see that a little easier. I'm aligning it and then I'm going to zoom in here. They're saying use the longer 14-inch pieces because of this. There's it's just a little bit short. So we'll have to use a bigger overall piece for this cut. Okay, so that's where we're gonna start. And they say use the 14s. So I'm gonna check out what that is. So let me go to my inventory and look at the 14s. That's 18. These are 14. Okay. So, you know, you measure your bundle. This is the bundle that's 14, right? 14 inches right here. So they want us to use this piece. So let's take one out. I always like just like push it a little bit. They come out the other side. I can take them out. I can take it out one at a time. And this works for a little while until you take too many out. Okay, so if I go there, yep, one will be enough. We need one 14-inch piece. Okay, that's our next move. And just like always, we're gonna create the perimeter first. So the perimeter is going around the outside. It's this 1, this 2, this 3, this 4. Once we create the square, then we start to fill it in and we work our way across. Okay, so this is our first piece. I'm gonna put the bundle back. We're not gonna need this bundle anymore. So this is the 14-inch bundle. Put that back in the box. And I'm gonna have my razor blade ready to make my cut, but first I need to mark it. So I have it right here. I have the piece. Here it is. I'm marking my cut. And then to speed this up, I'm gonna do a second cut off of the other one. So I'm gonna flip it around. It should be identical, but I'm just gonna do it in the other position. There and there. That allows me to get the cuts faster. Okay, so I have my line here and my line here. I can transfer those lines down a little bit, down the face. And then I'm bringing in my little piece, my little plastic piece. You can use anything that you have. You could use the miter box for this. You could use a piece of cardboard. Okay, that's a nice cut. I feel like I have more control with this little razor blade than I do with the saw. I think the cuts are cleaner also. So that's why I'm transitioning. You, of course, are free to use either the saw or the razor. Okay, this one is ready to go. That one and that one. Those look nice. And then we'll need the vertical pieces. The vertical pieces, of course, are out of your 8-foot bundle. The 8-foot bundle is it's 5 5/8. Okay. So we're gonna need, let's say 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. We're gonna need 7 of these right now. So it's just 7 to start, so just pull 7 out. And then we're going to only have time to use a few, but we'll have all of our lumber ready to do that. Okay. So I pulled out about 7. And so let's look at trying to get the perimeter in. Once I attach this one here and attach this one here, then I'm going to be able to do to put in the other ones. So let's get these in. I want this to be the last thing that we get done today, is just doing the perimeter, and then we'll pick up there next time on section 1A. Okay, I'm going to just go straight in, boom, straight in here. Another nail. Another nail. I'm just putting 4 total, straight in. I'm putting them in straight in from the top because I think that's going to be the easiest to do. There, one more right there. Okay, so now that this has been secured, then you actually know whether this fits or not. And so now we can see that it just needs to be sanded a little bit to get that one in. So I'm going to take my piece of sandpaper, pull it along the bottom a little bit, just a little bit. Bam. Just be super gentle with the sanding, because this balsa wood just is very soft. If you're looking at wood classifications, this would be considered a softwood. This is not what we would use to build a real house, but this is what we're using to build our model house. The nails go very easily in. Boom. There we go. Nice. Got one nail in from the top, and then I'm going to put another one in from the bottom. So I'm holding down and I'm pushing up. So I'm giving it some resistance with this finger so that when I push up, it doesn't shift everything. Boom. Okay, got that. And we're going to get, this one's going to be a little hard to get, so I will do the one right next to it, just because I think this is going to be faster. It's a little bit too long. Sand, just a little bit. Just ever so slightly, because you want it to be just slightly snug, and that's ready to go. Here's my my last nail I'm putting in for the day. The last 2 nails, excuse me. So from the top, I'm holding down with this finger. I'm holding down, and I'm pushing in, and I'm pushing in, and I'm pushing in. Boom, we got it. Now what about this one? We're gonna go in from the bottom, so we switch our hand position, make sure we're aligned with the plans, and push up. Boom, got it. Okay, so we have a nice area here. We have a nice square. And the reason why I'm not starting with this one is because I want to save that one for a little later when we're actually joining the two together. I think it'll be easier to get that one later. So this is where we're gonna stop for today, and we'll take some questions. So I'll go ahead and stop this presentation. And of course, you're always free to continue on working on this project more. This will be our focus, wall 1A. Let's look at what's coming up next just briefly, so we know what's coming up ahead. Not that we do that step yet, but you know what's happening next. So step 10 is to build wall 1A. 11, when wall A is complete, splice it to wall 1B. If you have framed wall 1A correctly, the sole and top plates of wall 1B will nail into half of the stud on the right end of wall 1A. So they're talking about this area here and this area here. So if we have done it correctly, you know, air quotes on that, then we will see that come together very, very nicely. And that's where when we would put in this fire block here, and then the other ones from the other side. So we're making some good progress, and I'll go ahead and I'll take some questions now. So let me stop this recording. And I think we had a pretty successful day. It's best to take your time when you're removing the wall piece from this foam, because if you break it, then a lot of your hard work goes away.